Greetings. Let us quickly have a look at gold. So this is the monthly chart, as you guys can see, and I can see, or rather we can see that we have currently a very nice M structure that seems to be forming at this point, right, with the neckline being at more or less this level over here. However, the neckline is yet to be broken to the downside, and at this point in time, we can't really expect price to actually finish at this level. All right. However, once price breaks below and closes below the monthly neckline, what we would do next is wait for price to head back to the neckline to retest it, and we would look for selling opportunities at this point, and the anticipation would be for price to move further down to at least this level to complete this very nice M structure. However, having said that, I think our first take profit should be at around this level over here, and that is because number one, we have a very strong area of support at that level, because we can see price rejected that level multiple times, and number two, we have this candlestick over here. um, Over here, it is a bearish candlestick with a very long lower wick, which tells us that we have a whole lot of liquidity sitting at this level, and that the market at one point or another needs to head down there to grab that liquidity, right? Having said that, as much as we have this very nice information, we also have this candlestick over here, which is which is rather a bearish candlestick, or rather a bullish candlestick with a small body and a long upper wick. So similarly, this tells us that we have a whole lot of liquidity at this point, and what may happen is, as much as I said, the anticipation is for price to move further down, price may actually bounce off this area and then head back up, and that is because this area currently is a very strong area of support, and that's because if you look at it, actually we had multiple rejections on that area, and it may happen that price may come back once more to retest that area and then push further up to this level over here to grab that liquidity. So we just need to ensure that we are up to speed in as far as all the possible outcomes that may happen in as far as the global chart is concerned. So what else do we see on this chart? In fact, before we continue, I'm just going to mark all of those points because they are very much important, so just bear with me. Number one, I'm going to mark this just bear with me, guys. I'm going to mark this candlestick, or this area right here, right? It's a very important area because number one, as I said, it's a very strong support line. Number two, because of that candlestick, there's a whole lot of liquidity at that point, right? And then I'm gonna also let's see, mark this level right here, because it's a very strong, or rather it's a level of very high liquidity, right? And then number three, I'm just going to add a neckline for that huge M structure that I just spoke about. And not only is this neckline, or rather not only is this area a neckline of that M structure, but it's also a very strong level of support, because we had a touch here, or a rejection here, a rejection at this level, and a third rejection at this point as well, right? So let's see. So what else do we see on this chart? So we also have this candlestick over here. It is a liquidity candlestick as well, and it tells us that the market has to come back to that level to grab all of that liquidity. So as I said, price may push down, right, to not only test at this level, but to grab that liquidity and then push further up to that level to grab the liquidity at that level as well. And then we might see possibly a triple top, and then price may possibly push down maybe to around this level, where we have this area right here, which is a liquidity area as well as a very strong level of support, right? So what I'm going to do now is also just add, or rather mark that candlestick as well, because it is also very much important. So just bear with me. Let's see. This area right here is very important, right? I don't see anything further on this particular chart that is interesting, so I'm just gonna head down to the weekly chart, right? So here we are on the weekly chart. So what do we see on the weekly chart? On the weekly chart, we can see that we had a very nice M structure over here, with the neckline being somewhere here. Price broke the neckline to the bottom side and then went up to retest that neckline, and we would have looked for selling opportunities at that point, right? And price indeed went further down to here, because this is the area of support, right? So as I said, we would have looked for selling opportunities at this point, right? So let's proceed. Excuse me. So what else do we see on this chart that we should be paying attention to? At this point, I don't see much really. I don't really see much, except that we also had another very nice M structure over here, with the neckline being over here. Price broke the neckline to the bottom side and then went back up again to retest that neckline. So again, we would have looked for selling opportunities at this point, and our take profit should be this level again, and that is because this is where we have that liquidity area, and it's also a very strong area of support, right? So I think this smaller information will be better visible on the daily chart. So let's head down to the daily chart. Right, as I said, right, the M is actually better visible on the daily chart together with the neckline. As I said, price broke the neckline to the bottom side and then went up again to test the neckline, and we would have looked for selling opportunities at this point, and our take profit should be around here somewhere, right? Anyway, let's proceed. I'm also just gonna add my channel to this particular chart, which is the daily chart, so just bear with me. Let's see. There goes my channel. Yeah, there goes my channel, more or less. And just remember that we just need to ensure that our channels, or all the lines that we add to our charts, are as accurate as can be, right? So we can see here that this was a fake out. Let me just make it slightly bigger. I would say that this was a fake breakout, and a lot of people were buying after seeing price close just on that side of this trend line, and it seems as though price is going to move down to at least this level to, as I said, grab that liquidity, as well as to test this area over here, right? I don't see much on this particular chart, except that I must point out that we also have a very nice M structure in this region, and that the neckline is also broken currently, and if price comes to this level maybe and then goes back up to the neckline, we will indeed look for more selling opportunities, right? I hope that makes sense, right? And I hope that's visible. Let me just redraw it. We have this information here with a neckline being there, right? Price at the moment, it hasn't really closed below, but if it does close below the neckline, we will wait for price to head back to the neckline again, and we would look for further selling opportunities at this point, and the first take profit should be this level over here where we have that liquidity area, right? Just also bear in mind that as much as we anticipate price to reach this level, we also have a very nice W structure here, with a neckline being somewhere here, right? And what may happen is, because we have a neckline here as well, price may actually bounce off the neckline here and then push further up, right? So we just need to monitor everything and make sure that we are on top of everything. However, having said that, my bias is for price to get to this point, this level over here, from where it is currently. So I hope that makes sense. So from here, I'm just going to head down to the H4 chart. So here we are on the H4 chart. So what do we see on the H4 chart? What do we see on the H4 chart? let's see. What do we see on the H4 chart that we should be paying attention to? Let's see. I don't see much really, although I will just add a trend line. So there goes my H4 trend line, which actually confirms that indeed price needs to move further down from where it is, and that is because we can see that based on this line, price broke out to the side of the line, and it's confirmation in a way that price should continue to move further down, right? And as I said, we just need to make sure that we monitor this MW structure rather, which has a neckline at more or less this level, and that as much as we're anticipating for price to end at this level, price may end at this level from where it is, and then maybe push further up, right? But as I said, my take profit would be this level over here, and when price reaches this level, I would just monitor, and if it gives me an indication of possibly pushing up, I would just move my stop loss and put it somewhere here close to where that neckline is, just in case price starts to head up, right? So I hope what I've just shown you makes sense. I hope it was clear. I know my drawings are not as great, but I hope you got the gist of what I was trying to put to you, right? Anyway, that is my analysis, and peace out.